Well, it's the document that laid the groundwork for an entire country.
When the Founding Fathers declared their independence back in 1776, it was an act considered treasonous to the British Crown and launched a war that would end with the creation of the United States.
And now, one of the original copies of that historic document has made the journey here to Hawaii. KITV4's Jill Kuramoto is live at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center with the look at the Declaration of Independence. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, guys. That's right. You know, back in 1776, they didn't have email, they didn't have faxes. So when that Declaration of Independence was approved on July 4th, 1776, 200 copies of it were made and distributed it to the 13 colonies. And of those 200, 25 are still known to exist. And one of them is here in Hawaii for a brief 2-day visit. And Brent Miller is here with me. He's the Director of Special Events with the Lear Foundation. And the Lear Foundation is sponsoring this round the 50-state tour. Right. We're the 44th state. Why is that?
Well, you know, we started back in 2000 with the intention, when Lynn and Norman Lear bought this document, the intention was to tour all 50 states. It's been 10 years, and we're just finishing up our last 7 states, Hawaii being the first, and we're going to end with Maine, second week in May.
All right, and it's amazing to be this close to this document. This is actually a rare opportunity.
It is. It's a very rare opportunity, and as you said before, you know, one of the interesting things to point out about this document is that in 1776, we didn't have the modern transportation that we have now. So this document doesn't have the signatures that you would see in the handwritten document that's in the National Archives. It is a print from, you know, the John Dunlap printing press, one of the 200 originals, so it's actually older than the handwritten document that you saw.
Older. Yeah. And now, if you take a real close look at it, you're going to see that it looks like there's a lot of typos on it, S's and F's.
Before I get to that, I do want to clarify why it's older is because the original handwritten document that is in the National Archives, it took several months to get those signatures because of the lack of transportation they had back then. So that's why this one is technically older, because as soon as it was printed, it was sent on horseback to all 13 colonies. And to add to your point, yes, there aren't typos. Back then, they had 3 different types of fonts for the letter S, depending on the pronunciation of the word. So it looks like self-evident, but it's actually self-evident, obviously. But that's not a mistake. That's the way it was.
All right. Okay. Thanks so much, Brent. Sure. It's such a fascinating document, and there's so much history behind it. There's actually a video that's being made, that was made about it, and that's also being shown here.
Yeah, we have 2 different videos that are going to be shown. One is Reese Witherspoon is hosting, and it's essentially the history of the document itself, how we got the document, and then, you know, a lot of history about the specific of the Declaration of Independence itself. Reese Witherspoon's ancestor, John Witherspoon, was one of the original signers, so that's why we chose her. And then in addition to that, we have a reading of the document that was directed by Rob Reiner with a handful of celebrities that are reading at Independence Hall in Philadelphia.
Great. All right. Thanks, Brent. And I should point out, too, that this whole tour is being documented as well, and check it out. So we're being part of this. We're going to be part of this film that's going to eventually be shown about this whole 50-state tour.
Exactly.
Thanks, Brent. Sure. And just so you know, too, this document comes with its own security as well, so behave yourself when you're around. So again, it's here at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center, Tuesday and Wednesday only, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Visitor Center is going to be open a little bit later to allow people to get off work and come visit as well and take a look at this thing. And, of course, it is free. The Visitor Center is always free to the public. So be sure to come on down Tuesday and Wednesday.
Well,
Back
Jill,
to you guys.
Jill, thank you so much. Soaking in all that history and being part of history. Jill, thank you very much this morning.